Gaming Bolt presents Top 20 Indie Games of 2016 and Beyond. What indie games are there to look forward to in 2016 and beyond that? A whole lot more than even we can list. All across the world, talented startups and long-standing indie homes are developing some truly unique pieces of playable art all for us. It wasn't easy, and there are probably hundreds of games we missed when assembling this list, but here are 20 indie games of 2016 and beyond that we think everyone should know about. Hyperlight Drifter. Traveling through a pixelated isometric underworld full of color and plenty of mystery to go around is what Hyperlight Drifter is all about. Exploring this action-based hack-and-slash adventure world is a spectacle that looks like it came from decades of gaming long gone, but with innovations that have yet been introduced in current-gen gaming. Firewatch. This first-person exploration adventure game puts the player in the boots of a man named Henry. Firewatch has the player going out in a not-so-standard adventure where being able to explore the story is the main goal. The developers wanted a game where the story is the main focus and not letting it get held back by difficult puzzles or confusing gameplay. Tacoma. From the developers of Gone Home comes a new walking game that takes place in a space station in the year 2088. The player gets into the eyes of Amy, a woman who is exploring said space station to find out that no one is around. What's also familiar with Gone Home fans will be the idea of exploring the space station and trying to figure out where the residents went. Quadrilateral Cowboy. This cyberpunk hacking game set in the 1980s will bring back some nostalgia for those around in that decade. The player will be able to actually become a program within a hacked computer. Unlocking doors through hacks and infiltrating building security is what this game is all about. The Witness. This intriguing first-person puzzler adventure is full of color op and whim. A truly magnificent spectacle that not only pleases the eyes but puzzles the brain. Solved puzzles will unlock doors, new paths and secrets all around this beautiful land. Inside. From the makers of Limbo comes a new adventure about a boy breaking into an underground facility. Constantly under monitor by robots and security, the boy is trying to get deeper inside this facility while avoiding such dangers such as rolling cylinders, mad dogs, swimming hazards, robots, and much more. No Man's Sky. Clearly one of the most anticipated games in 2016 is Hello Games' No Man's Sky. A wonderfully colorful first-person galaxy-spanning exploration game where the player is free to go anywhere he or she chooses. Name planets, find new life, and make money in an almost infinite amount of ways, and get to the center of the galaxy to find out what all this exploration is truly all about. Cuphead. Another eagerly anticipated game, Cuphead is a side-scrolling action-adventure game set to the tone of 1930s-style cartoons. Play as a character that has a cup for a head and bring down enemies such as giant crazy birds, and shooting cartoon baddies in this oh-so-cute tale. Death's Gambit. Death's Gambit is a dark game that takes players on an adventure in a very pixelated world that seems to work brilliantly for those older style games of the late 80s and early 90s arcade graphics. Megaton Rainfall. Aliens, or something like them, have come to Earth and are destroying the massive metropolises. This fully destructible world is simple looking but phenomenally vast. Playing as a superhero to stop the destruction and flying around the city in first person never felt more real. Perception. This is a first-person horror game that takes place through the eyes of a blind female in pitch-black settings, using echolocation waves to transmit visuals to the player. It is as tantalizing as it is mysterious and just as scary. Layers of Fear. Currently available as in the game's preview program on Xbox One and Steam, Layers of Fear is a dark, twisted, and sinister horror first-person game with lots of mystery. Explore through the corrupt and evil mansion where anything can happen. An excellent voice cast, chilling sound effects, and an unsettling ambience really bring the fright home. Below. In Below, players take control of a tiny warrior exploring the depths of a remote island. Based on exploration and survival, Below sets its adventure on environments that are randomly generated where no two players may experience the same as the other. Abzu. A hidden world deep below the depths in the hearts of the ocean awaits in Abzu. Swim with all sorts of underwater life. Sharks, whales, and fish of many different varieties will all be awaiting as the ocean's secrets are finally uncovered in this beautifully rendered world. Superhot. Superhot is described as a game that only moves when you do. This game is just odd looking, but in all the best ways. Solid white atmosphere supporting solid red characters, this game takes the simple approach to graphics. Grave. Trekking through the sweaty, arid heat deep in the middle of a lonesome desert is hard enough as it is. Just be careful and indoors when night falls. Grave, from Broken Window Studios, is a survival horror game unlike any other. This desert's hideous killer ghouls and petrifying secrets rise in the darkness of the night, where finding a light source becomes the player's only weapon and chance to stay alive. Rime. A mysterious island that houses a horrible curse is the setting to Rime. It's a story about a boy who must use his brain and ingenuity to survive the island and eventually, hopefully, make his way off. Discovering the mysteries being the island is only achievable through solving puzzles, climbing walls, understanding and studying surroundings. Desync. This retro, psychedelic first-person arena shooter, Desync is a classical PC-style game that puts a ton of neon colors against a black backdrop in a room full of enemies. Take charge and take control and defeat the enemies before they take over. Salt and Sanctuary. This 2D side-scrolling platformer looks like it was ripped right out of a book of fairy tales. Salt and Sanctuary is a game that looks to hit all the right notes a platformer must take to be really fun. Great enemy encounters, big bosses, an interesting premise, and mythology, and a whole lot of character customization. Scale. Scale is a very unique first-person puzzle/platformer that takes a lot of tones in the classical tale of Alice in Wonderland. The character is equipped with a gun that can scale objects and creatures from normal size to very big or very small. Scale includes a very odd story mixed in about a woman named Penny who escaped from prison and is looking for revenge on her enemies. But what's even crazier than all of that? It looks like the entire world can be scaled to make the character massive in comparison. A true wonder we must know more about soon. And if you like what we're doing, go ahead and click that subscribe button. See you soon.